10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 12, 11, 0. See if it's making noise. Oh, it is. All right, well, oh man, life is funny, right? I mean, life is funny. I think it's funny. There's various funny things about it. For example, early today I woke up, starting my work. I load up YouTube, to get some things to play in the background. I see Gary has an hour plus worth of video to this guy named Fyrrho. Fine. I don't have time to watch that, I figure. There's no way. Because my reply to it, even if at double speed, is going to be also an hour or more, and it's just going to expand and expand. He's exhausting me. But then again, he can't exhaust me, I think. But then again, I thought I just don't have time for that. Okay, but on the other hand, this morning my wife left for Canada, and now she's now in Canada with her sister and her mother, and they're up there with some Canada relatives. Going to go to a concert and a musical that two different people are in. And so I'm here alone. Now, this reminds me of something Gary said in the other videos about, oh, he must have been drunk. And I thought that was hurtful because I don't drink in the weekdays, right? And it's because it's taken a lot of self-control and stuff because it's funny because I never really started drinking until I was around 38, 39. But it did get harder to control once I got suicidally depressed. I noticed, and I would honestly say it helped. It helped me through that particular time. But it also became like, and what I noticed is that when you drink a certain amount, then it puts a little gap in your continuity of your consciousness, and you kind of get a reset, and it could be good for that. But I don't want to reset every day and be like, it's hard to remember what was I doing tomorrow. Whereas if I don't drink, then even when I'm sleeping, there's a sort of a continuity that goes from when I went to sleep into the morning. Sometimes I'll wake up continuing a thought I had when I went to sleep. But if you drink a certain amount, and it doesn't have to be very much, and of course it depends on your tolerance, but I mean, for someone that drinks regularly, I mean, it's a low amount for them. They can drink a lot more. I mean, like, basically 2 beers, no. Just get a little bit of a feeling, and, you might watch something or do something, and that you will remember, and it might be something of this principle of a little bit of a narrowing that makes it harder. I don't know. But if it's 3 or 4 drinks, then it's like a reset. So, but like I said, my wife's in Canada and it's Friday. So, and I did know that these videos were out there when I went to the store. So I got a little alcohol. And also on the weekends, I've only been drinking beer and stuff because I find vodka is hard to get in a small enough quantity that it's not too much. But again, I knew that Gary's video was out there. I'm not saying that had an influence. I'm not blaming that or anything, but I'm just saying that was something on my mind when I went to the store. And so I went ahead and got a little to drink, and I'm on my 3rd drink, so I'm at that threshold. But it's Friday, and I've been working my ass off at this job, and it's awesome. It's like cutting edge stuff, GraphQL, Relay, uh, which is on top of React. It's awesome. Really liking it. So imagine my experiences ending up here where, fuck, I got time. I figure my wife's in Canada. My stepson's fed. Um, you know, I've got time. So, yeah. Puck Fyrrho. Puck Fyrrho. See, I think there's probably more positive ways to enter into the conversation. But on the other hand, at this point, I won't, less and less I'll have any recourse to how rude you are and I'm not, because I intend to be fully just as rude. Like, I got a comment from, well, not as rude, that would be hard. I'm not going to stress myself out with a goal like that. But I mean, I'm not going to worry about not being as rude. I'm not going to worry about not being more rude. Somebody brought up, you said he voted for Trump. Yeah, well, I thought I explained well enough that it was a metaphorical thing, just like he said in his video, more or less, that I support Trump. I'm the reason. I'm the example of a typical asshole American. No, I'm not. If I'm an asshole, I'm my own kind of asshole. And one thing I know is that the kind of asshole I am is not a typical asshole. All right, and I've been very nice to you over the years and not talked to you when it was difficult to be nice. And, I've decided, if I have the fucking time, I'm interested at double speed to see what you're saying. So I will deal with it. But I might peter out because it is hard to listen to these character assassinations from someone who goes, "That's disgusting. How rude. You said something about me, Gary, and Menham that was not sustained with 1,000,000 points of light. How could you do that? How could you speak so freely and not, I don't get it. Why would you be like me?" Wait, Faith is in here. All right. Okay, so the point is what you're looking at is Gary's video. It looks like me, I know, but that's Gary's monitor. In case you're confused about that. Because I'm on the long haul toward the wrong road.
Alright, making another video. Fyrrho, I'm gonna have to play this shit, and I was just saying, well, it's insufferable. So just for...
You're insufferable.
The end, whatever, just play it out, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll just jump through it, we'll see. It just depends on how much just absolute nonsense he speaks.
Well, it's gonna be a lot.
Some asshole commented on my message board thing, some sort of crap.
So it's a cold watch, I guess, like this one.
I don't think so.
He doesn't know?
Fucking whatever it was, videos. These are long videos. They're just not worth it. All this shit has been, I've run over and over so many times.
I agree.
Like enslaving people in other countries. You don't want them over here because we can't compete with them. But we've got to use it. Yeah, well, that's not what I said. So you see, getting kind of argument because we can't compete with them. I don't want them over here because we can't compete with them. That's a completely nonsensical comment. I'm saying to you overtly, we can't have them over here because we will not behave like the rich people in China. We won't watch people be brutalized every day. The American people are more sophisticated.
So how about this? We let them come over here and we don't brutalize them. What about that idea?
And they won't just sit here. Like, they won't sit in their neighborhood. And no. Right.
Do you see how, like, what he's saying is like, well, they gotta be brutalized. We can't do it here in our neighborhood of Mentham, Hampshire.
Over there's a 13-year-old kid in a work camp. We won't live like that anymore. So we can't compete with them. We can't. Inevitable. We gotta buy the shoes from the sweatshop in Bangladesh. You like doing that. There. Okay, so that's what you're talking about, the comment that I've somehow said I like doing that. So this asshole...
Yeah, because you say we got to have globalization. There's no other way. They're going to make the clothes. We have to compete with that. We can't. They're going to make the clothes. So don't let them over here where we have to stop abusing them.
Post this thing and says I said something good. I'm defending child labor in Bangladesh. When I have said exactly the opposite. You fucking little cunt liars. So yeah, I'm blocking your right.
No, you've claimed...
You asshole. That's just a fucking lie.
You claim You claim you oppose it, but it sounds like 2 plus 2 equals you don't oppose it. You don't approve of isolationism, 35% tariffs or any other form of isolationism. It's inevitable. They get to make the clothes because they'll make them at the most cheapest level as long as you buy oil to ship it where it needs to, where the people want it. So you won't, if we let them come over here, then we wouldn't make slaves of them because we wouldn't be able to stomach it. And you're not for that. You're for leaving them over there and letting them still be slaves. Not that we all aren't, but I mean, there's definitely a totem pole of how much of a house slave you get to be, how many little perks, maybe a little hot water, maybe running water to your house. So that's where you stand. It's just a fact.
They're suffering. Doesn't matter. Oh, I mean, why am I doing this? This is outrageous conduct. I don't get that. Yeah, well,
No, Gary, the point of this, half of it, is you talk this way to me always. And not just me. I'm not special. To everybody. Right? So if it's outrageous, you're outrageous. Either do something about that or stop being a whiny bitch about it.
You don't get it. I never said it. I never said anything close to it. I, in fact, can document how I've said exactly the opposite over and over and over again. I don't even think you get that lying piece of scum from Tika.
Yeah, a lot of people say the opposite of what their other statements add up to. Your statements add up to, we can't let them come over here and not treat them as slaves. They're going to be treated as slaves over there. That's the only way they can be treated as slaves, you said. And let's keep doing that.
Yeah, to agree that I haven't said it over and over and over again. You said Hillary did nothing about immigration to convey immigration. Well, actually, she did. She did it in the regular way, these DLC third way Democrats. Well, again, I said in the debates. The debates were the thing that were watched by, the most people ever in the history.
Well, in the debate, I remember she mentioned that she's for strengthening the border, and people like you, it bounces off because that's not what you think you're going to hear. Because you're basically some sort of a right-wing liberal.
Of mankind, and in debates, when she needed to say something, she had no response in any of the debates to the subject of immigration, except to say just about the worst thing she could say, which is, you have to let. I can't even paraphrase it, but she said so absolutely nothing.
You can't paraphrase it because you were making up something that never happened.
But people wouldn't listen. People wouldn't believe her. You wouldn't believe her. Instead, you're going, gee, that's an open border. No, exactly. I said exactly what I just said. I said it in the debates. I said it in my video. I said it in his room, in the debates. So there's no confusion here. It doesn't matter if she had something in her platform about building fences. All right? If she doesn't say it in the debate, then nobody knows.
She did say it in the debate. And I haven't checked, but how about this? Do you want to make a bet? Because if we make a bet that ends in your humiliation, I'll go ahead and check the tape of the debate. And if I can't find it, I'll come and say, you're right. I can't find it. Will you say, you're wrong? Well, you would say, I'm wrong. She did say something about it in the debate. No, you would probably say, oh, but that wasn't very good, what she said. Because it wasn't. Because she's a sucky-ass campaigner. Because I'm not defending how well she's campaigning. I'm saying that you are not supposed to be the average idiot, so you could find out what her position is. And frankly, why didn't we do that? Because you can't really trust her written positions, right? You have to look at her past behavior. But guess what? Her past behavior is that, yeah, she's kind of a hawk. And fences and cameras on the border, something she's for. In general, giving more money to cops, federal grants, attacking a country, these kind of things, she's generally, her behavior has been for. So probably she really was for giving some contracts to her, contacts to make the wall. She wasn't willing to say she'd get Mexico to pay for it. Maybe you kind of admire that, even though you hate Trump.
Because that's what she believes. And she certainly didn't say it in commercials or in some other thing I saw. I never saw Hillary Clinton say one single thing indicating she has any, that she sees
She was an idiot as far as her campaigning. I'll agree she never said anything about it in her ads that I saw.
any huge problem with immigration. No indication whatsoever.
No, she meant open borders for the businesses, which is what you like. You like
Well, again, no, I don't like it. And so again, this is another lie. And the truth is, I already know that, Fyrrho. I never was under the misunderstanding when she said open borders in the debate that she was saying open economic. But that she wasn't saying open economic borders. I even made a video where I even pointed out to other people that you can't have that misunderstanding. She was talking about open borders economically, not open borders for migration. I even made these arguments in my own videos, asshole. So what are you saying this shit for? You lie? God, you're just such a liar. Doesn't even qualify for.
Well, no, I'll say I didn't know that. I don't watch all your videos because usually you're just cussing people out. I don't have time for that. I'd like to. I try to make time for it, because of my, dedication to the Gary stream. But I didn't know that. That could be true. I mean, your history of lying makes me wonder, maybe it's not true. Oh, I have an interjection thing. Maybe it's not true, I think, to myself. Maybe not. But I don't know. Perhaps you did make a point of that. That would be very interesting. Do you have proof of that?
What you're doing here. This is just disgusting mischaracterizations, slanders.
Well, part of the point was that rather than be as careful as I usually am, I would just apply your standards of if somebody gets something wrong, they're a liar. If someone disagrees with me, they're intentionally trying to destroy everything good about the world. And if they think there's something good about the world, in your case, you'd be like, well, that means they're a big asshole.
an open border for businesses. You said that. NAFTA was inevitable. All those were inevitable. Open borders is fine with the business. That's open.
And that's what I said. I was opposed to it. I'm opposed to the fact that we have these things. But for people to think that trade agreements were the problem and that the changing of the world wasn't the problem, that's...
No, you didn't say you were opposed to those things. I provoked you to say that, just like I provoked your whole scientific theory. I'm the only one that argued with you about quantum mechanics all these years, and now you have a whole alternate theory. Coincidence? I think not. Okay? So I just provoked you to admit what you just said.
the part I clearly stated. You're not identifying the problem. NAFTA would not have solved the... No, NAFTA would not change much of anything in this country. I could go back in time and take NAFTA and pull it out and say it never happened. I would promise you the world would look pretty much exactly the way it looks right now.
Only if there was another law, because otherwise, if they'd moved their stuff to Mexico, there would have been problems. They made an agreement where you could do that and then bring the goods back with no tariffs, and otherwise it would have, even if it had started off cheap, we could have done things. Now, would we have created a tariff or made it hard to do that? Obviously not. We made NAFTA. So, no, we're not going to make the opposite of NAFTA instead of NAFTA. We're the people that made NAFTA.
NAFTA didn't do shit. It's the problem of fucking...
Bullshit. Bullshit. That if you think NAFTA didn't have an effect, then there's some sort of an analytic dysfunction in your brain.
Any rational business is going to chase higher profits, and you chase them in other countries with desperate labor, and you want to bring that here.
And NAFTA made it so you didn't have to bring it here. See, before that, we had to bring the cheap labor here. With NAFTA, you could let the cheap labor be in another country, and if, the fire inspectors were kind of, easy to bribe, then in Bangladesh, you can have shitty Bangladesh slave danger situations. And obviously NAFTA isn't to explain for the Bangladesh. In fact, to be honest, the Bangladesh example shows that what was happening anyway, which is why I've granted that in the past. However, you don't want to fight it. You don't have an alternative. You don't have any way. You've admitted that letting them immigrate would solve the problem of them being enslaved, and you're against it. Frankly, that's all it takes.
She said very specifically on her website, well, nobody goes, yeah, she's a bad marketer, but you said she...
Yeah, so again, you're just mischaracterizing a conversation that I explicitly stated my opinion, what I was saying. There's no doubt about it. I did it more than one time, and you're just doing this pointless...
Well, you mischaracterize me in a million ways. I'm not a pantheist. I don't think humans are special, and that's why they get to eat other animals. I don't think all American corporations are just good. I don't celebrate that people ought to have, it's always good to procreate. Sometimes it ends up sucking. You don't have any mischaracterizations to accuse me of that rank to those. All right, asshole? Okay, mister, we're getting serious. Fuck you. Your mischaracterizations of me are way worse. And you, because of your aphasia, dementia, amnesia, you act like, I don't even know I did that. Well, watch your own fucking videos for 2 minutes. Alright?
This thing where I'm going to tell you again what was I said that was wrong, that you counter-argued right from that point. I've already counter-argued this 3 times. How many fucking times do I have to say make the same counter-argument over and over again?
Well, just stop contradicting yourself.
You lying piece of shit.
Well, I think you're a lying piece of shit. So let's say that the enigma here is, why are we talking to each other still? But I actually know the answer to that. But I'm not going to ignore this bullshit. You think you can mischaracterize and malign and badmouth. You say I'm a bad person. Well, I'm trying to be a good person in this world. And I admit I'm not a perfectly good person. I don't think such a thing could exist, but certainly people better than me, having made more important right decisions than me, definitely exist. You know? So I can admit that, but that doesn't mean I'm going to sit around and let you trash me nonstop. Now, I've hardly talked to you for a long time, except for live when you've come into the room. And this exchange is an example of why. I've decided, well, maybe there is a way to deal with it. Because it's not like I talk to you because you're a decent person. Maybe I'll just talk to you because you're an indecent person. Because you're like Fox News, lying to your audience. Many people who watch you that don't watch me, and sometimes some of them stray over to my channel for the first time and leave a comment, and they have no fucking clue what I'm really like, or how I'm trying to be good and how I'm failing, how that idea is right or wrong. They have no fucking clue because you're a big fat liar. They get no idea. If you were so honest, then they would have at least an accurate idea, even if it was negative, of my positions. But they don't, because you give all these I'm not a pantheist, right? And I'm not, and if in some sense you would argue that, I'm definitely have never argued that human beings were so special we could do what we wanted with the rest of the living kingdom. Never. And you should know that. All right. I actually agree with almost all, I guess, or arguably all of your argument about nepotism and inheritance systems that we have. Being the only part I disagree with is that that's totally practical. That'd be easier to pull off than every other option. You know, my thing is that, well, in that category, there's a lot of options, and we just have to do at least one of them. Let's start somewhere, whichever one we could agree on. And you're like, no, whichever one I think is right. No, whichever one we can agree on. It's a democracy. All right? And I'm not going to just, if I talk to you at all in this video chain where you do this shit, I am not going to ignore that you're a big fat hypocrite, that you lie about me all the time, and that we know each other well enough that I actually have a reason to say you're lying when you say that I've argued that all corporations in America are good, right? So people that only see what you say about me and the videos you replay where you're talking over them, they have no way to know that's not true. Granted, I'm not too worried about it because they must be idiots to trust you, but still, it doesn't mean I want to sit around and just ignore it. So it goes 2 ways, and I don't really care if you think that it's just disgusting that I mischaracterize you. I want you to think that, because then deep down somewhere you must know it's disgusting the way you mischaracterize other people. And other than that, you aren't the only one in my life that's mischaracterized me. I think it's a part of life. So I don't know where you expect to get with that, but I've let you get too far so far.
She said it in the debate. She said this in the debate, and she didn't.
No, she didn't. So again, you can go ahead, show me the clip where she said it in the debates.
Came up in the debate that she wants more fences.
Okay, I'm going to look up right now if I could see a transcript of 2016 debates. And let's see if we can do it with Google. Otherwise, I will look up later. We'll see. Probably won't be able to find anything this quick, but making me wait. Okay, here's what she said in the third debate on borders, among other things. I've been for border security for years. I voted for border security in the United States Senate. My comprehensive immigration reform plan, of course, includes border security, but I want to put our resources where they're most needed, getting rid of any violent person. Anyone who should be deported, we should deport them. Clinton, I voted for border security, and there are Trump and the wall. She also said, I want to get everybody out of the shadows, get the economy working, not let employers like Donald exploit undocumented workers, which hurts them, but also hurts American workers. And Trump's like, we either have borders or we don't. Clinton, we will not have open borders. That is, I do believe in open borders. Oh, wait. I see, I forgot to do my interjection. Clinton will have secure borders, but will also have reform. This used to be a bipartisan issue. Ronald Reagan was the last president, interrupted, to sign immigration reform, and George W. Bush supported it as well. Is that your dream, open borders? Wallace said. Clinton, well, if you went on to read the rest of the sentence, I was talking about energy. You know, we trade more energy with our neighbors than we trade with the rest of the world, and I do want us to have an electric grid and energy system that crosses borders. I think that would be a great benefit to us. Trump's like, that was a great pivot off the fact that she wants open borders, okay? And Gary, you're like, yeah, good point, Mr. Trump. So that was just the third debate. Just 2 minutes worth of Google there. So that wasn't enough, right? I know, it wasn't enough. I agree, she's a shitty campaigner. Yeah, she should have told all you racists, I hate those people from the other countries. We're going to block them, block them. That would have been politically smarter, for sure. You're totally right about that. Oh, 7 minutes in. So a half an hour, 7 minutes in. That's only taken 4 minutes. Well, I need a break. I can't make more than a half an hour video. Gary will say it's too long. I guess this will just be a 12-parter. I don't know. Okay, I'll try to let it run longer when I get back.